Welcome, guys. Welcome to the TSO Live Talk Show. I am your host, Shemaya Hawkins. Well, Maya, because that's what you'll see on the screen. But I am here with our awesome co-host, Justin. Guys, how are you, Justin? How are you doing? I know it's been 10,000 years.
Hey Maya, I'm doing well, and as you know, 10,000 years is an epoch, and I feel as though this is an apocryphal show. Am I right?
Yes, definitely.
And I'm not even 100% sure of the context in which I'm using that word, but there are a lot of similar words like apocalyptic, apocryphal, apocrypha that all sound very similar but mean very different things.
I don't even know what
So
you're
I
saying
would
right now,
say
Justin.
let's just hope that this show is apocalyptic. That's good,
Yes.
right?
I don't know. I feel like we should ask Siri, but I'm on my iPad, so I can't ask Siri. But we're so excited to be back here with you guys. We don't have the whole crew today. We will be back fully starting next Monday. But Justin and I, we had to come on because it's been way too long since we've seen you guys. Before we get started with the show, I just want to let everybody know what TSO is. TSO is a youth organization. We're based out of Abilene, Texas. We were created to give everyone the forum to speak their views and share their ideas globally and within their community. Um, and a huge shout out to all of our viewers and our friends and our families all around the world who've been asking us, hey, when are y'all having a show? Like, what is going on? So big shout out to you guys. We love you guys so very much. Don't forget to.
See, now I have to make the heart since there are only two of us. Before I could just kind of glide along and allow everyone else to do it and then pretend, I'm too cool, but I can't anymore.
Oh, wait, heart. So, we don't forget to like, share, and comment, and send all your friends because if you don't, best believe I've already started because sharing is caring. Y'all know I say this every single Monday, every single Monday. Before we get started with our show, we got a lot that we're gonna cover today. A lot of America is opening up. We want to know your views and your opinions and how you feel about it. And of course, you're going to hear about Justin and I's, our opinions on how we feel about American opening up. But before we do that, Justin, tell us what happened on Reach Out this past week.
Well, unfortunately, Maya, I can't. We didn't have a show this week. Uh, no, unfortunately, Bill, he was under the weather for a week. He was not around. He was actually had a hospital stay, but
Oh,
he
no.
he, he he's out now and he's on the upswing. And we're looking forward to doing a show hopefully tomorrow.
Okay, good.
We'll see how that goes. But no, we've been trying to do one every week, but sometimes some weeks do fall through. Uh, but yeah, it's generally been pretty good. I've been enjoying it, but it's been a busy time, just in life as well. Um,
Yeah. We got a lot of things changing coming up. Everybody is trying to get back to normal, which, normal is going to be a lot different for us in and around our communities. And COVID really shook up a lot of things with how we interact and how we are with people. So it's going to be a very interesting reopening up for America. And we definitely wanted to talk about that. And we're also going to have a future show where we talk about, vaccines and how you feel about it. So if you have an opinion that you would like to share with the world and you would like to come on the TSO Live Talk Show to do that, please send Justin a message, myself, Hajir, or Aria. Because we definitely want to hear your thoughts and your opinions because there's a lot of different thoughts and a lot of different opinions on vaccine or no vaccine. So stay tuned for our future shows on that. Yeah, I'm sorry, Justin. I just babbled on right there.
so I would mention that if you are looking at the promo for today and you see a Sudan update, we will not be speaking on that since Ajir is not here, although we know a little. By far she knows the most,
Right.
and so we'll hold off on that one until next week, where she hopefully joins us and Aria does as well. I don't know. Did we make the Aria College announcement at all on this show?
We
Did she
didn't
make
make
it?
the announcement, but I don't want to do it because even though she already
That's
made the
yeah. No,
announcement.
that's what I was going to say. I think we should wait.
Oh, absolutely.
Although it's a big deal, and our congratulations to her. She got a great offer and accepted it, and we'll let her fill in the details when she returns,
Yeah.
but won't actually spoil any of the
Yeah, we won't. So,
specifics
Aria,
at least.
we're gonna save your announcement because we have to have a special show and we gotta talk about it. Also, we hopefully will have some pictures that we can show you guys. So yes, we will not spoil her announcement for TSO family. We'll wait for next week for us to do that. So we're just gonna go ahead and dive into our topic about America reopening. Um, if you're watching us live on Facebook right now, please don't forget to like, share, and comment. And if you have a comment about what we're talking about, you're more than welcome to put it in the comment section there on the bottom. So I have a picture here that I'm going to show for you guys. This photo right here is of the states that are going to be reopening.
Yeah, I would take that tag off the bottom that's blocking the title
Oh,
if
oh
you
yeah, I'm
could.
sorry. My bad. Thanks, Justin.
Oh, I was just trying to read it, so I'm like, huh, there we go.
Yeah, states reopening, and you can take a look at this map and you can see exactly when you're so the dark I have it cut off on the top, but the dark colors are the states that are already open, and the lighter colors are the states that are opening this month, and then the extra light colors, like the light blue colors, those are not opening up until June or later. um
What
and
about
then
the diagonals?
the ones that are diagonals are um they have no date sets for the
Okay.
diagonal ones. And the
I'm
ones
very
that are right,
surprised that
huh?
there are even dates set for all the ones that are already set. That's surprising.
Absolutely. It's a big shock to see this. Oh, Hygeria is on. Let me bring her up right quick. It's a big shock to see this, to see all of these reopening. I'm gonna bring that back up. I'm gonna bring Hygeria up for everybody. Add to stream. Hi, Hygeria.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, sure.
I will book my camera soon. I'm
We
sorry.
Nice.
we got to give it some time to open up. But Hygeria, I'm so glad to see you. Welcome to TS Live
Hello, hello.
Talk Show. So what we were talking about is the reopening of America. Some states are already open. Some states are starting to open, like ours is going to be. But before we jump into that, I want you to tell everybody what your last Hygeria talk show was about, just so that everybody could get like a little synopsis of the show so they can go follow it and listen.
There were some good ones before the election. There were also some of those.
Yeah.
Are you talking to me or Justin?
Oh no, I was talking to you.
Oh my goodness. Here, I am like trying to do 100 things. So the show for today, or you talking about all of the past shows since the last time I joined you?
Well, whichever ones you think are good. I mean, I know some of those pre-election shows were some good ones, um, but
Um,
also you had
today is
Dr. Netta on recently too, I believe.
Yeah, that
yes,
was a good one.
informative one, and you guys had Nida before
Mm-hmm.
during the revolution, and she is just an amazing all-round person. She answered so many common questions and myths, and she's just very smart. So that was one of my favorite shows, like when it comes to COVID and the vaccination. And she was also just appointed to I think a dean assistants for the diversity with her college. She teach in a college, and now she's assisting the dean with the diversity and inclusion,
Oh,
which
that's awesome.
amazing asset. Today we had Joyce Davis. I'm sure all of you know her from Penn Live, and I mean all her contribution.
Oh,
Um,
Cole's mom.
yes, yes. She was one of the first, like she was the first African American woman back then when in journalist, and she was uh, the only woman that did the foreign journalism with the NPR and met with so many interesting people such as Dalai Lama and had like amazing pictures, and she just an all round amazing woman as well. But that's basically what we're trying to inspire and show women and men who are doing good in their community and using their talent to better our lives. And, Joyce is a great example of that.
Well, that's good. So don't forget, everybody, to go follow the Hygiene Talk Show. You can do that on Facebook and you can do it on YouTube as well. When you do go on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you can get a notification every time she goes live. You'll have access to those shows first. Well, you're going to have to fight for the rest of the people, but you'll be on there, okay? Um, like I was saying before we got brought Hygeria up. So we were showing a map, Hygeria, of the states that are planned to fully reopen, and Pennsylvania is on this list. Pennsylvania is actually scheduled to open up this Memorial Day. And let me
When
bring.
Maya and I were talking about it yesterday, I said, I really hope that's not ironic. I so hope it.
So this here is a map. So like I was saying before, we clicked off of the map. As you can see, we have a lot of states that are reopening, and then we have a lot of states that are already opening. And this is a big shock to me because, to be honest, I really thought that this was going to continue to go longer. I know with the vaccine out, and a lot of people are I want to say tired of social distancing and staying away from people and staying away from friends, and it's taking a toll on a lot of people. But this is a really 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 big shock for me. Pennsylvania, as you can see, is in the light blue. PA, that's where we're at currently. Governor Tom Roof increased the capacity limits, um, events and gatherings up to 50% and indoors 75%. On May 30 on May 31st, Governor Wolf will end the remaining restrictions on businesses and social gatherings. The state's health department has updated the statewide mask guidance to align with the CDC recommendations, and the mask requirements will be lifted after 70% of adults are fully vaccinated. So I know we're not going to really get into vaccinations on this show, but we are going to talk about it on a future show. Just like I said in the beginning of the show, there's a lot of different conversations and people feel, one way or the other about vaccinations, and should you get it or should
Yeah.
you not, and why aren't you doing it? Pretty much.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, no, this is Maya mentioned that last time. Like we need to have an entire show about that, and we need to promote it for a while because that would be a draw, and that's also a very interesting conversation. And I
right.
think the feelings of both sides are strong.
Mhm.
And also the feeling about the other side from the other side are also very strong as well,
Right.
in a negative way sometimes.
How do you
Mhm.
both feel about it?
uh, oh,
Hi
all right,
dear.
all right.
Hi dear. You're always trying to open up the can.
I do. You know what? In order for us to convince others, or to come or not to convince them, I mean, we have to like say what we think. If you feel
Yeah, but
like,
we gotta save it for the show.
Well,
okay,
all right. We could foreshadow by saying, like, in that show, like, we could bring some experts on. Would Dr. Netta even be willing to come on for that, maybe? I think she'd be
well, she would be
invaluable. I mean, not
in,
now, obviously, but
Right, but in our when we do have that show, I would definitely love to have her on. And I already have two people who are willing to come on as well for that show. So I mean, it's gonna be a good one. You don't want to spoil it, Hydeer.
okay
I mean,
then.
I will just basically say I'm generally for them. I have my doubts about
Oh,
the companies themselves, but I'm generally for them. I think it's generally a good call.
Why would you
Well, we
genuine?
all
Okay.
vaccinated in this house, so
What did you say,
even
Hyger?
because they just approved it for the for 13. I mean 12 and up.
Yeah, everyone can.
So she just got her first shot and she is fine. Um, with me, when I got mine, I only felt like just a little bit like pain in the side for two couple hours, and then I was fine after that.
Oh, I was exhausted for a day and a half, but nothing sick wise.
Yeah,
After the second one, at least.
I'm gonna try to join from the computer, Maya, so I can have my camera because this is not working from the phone.
Oh, okay, no worries. Okay, so like I said, that picture of the map, those are the states that are opening, or who are going to be opening later on in a month. Now, this next one that I'm going to show you here, this is where masks are required indoors. Okay, and this is has been the most biggest part of COVID that has had the most. I want to say the most impact on people is the wearing of the mask. And I see benefits of wearing a mask just in general. To keep yourself sick from, I mean, yourself from getting sick from other people. But this is crazy, Justin. Do you see all this blue right here?
Yeah, and I mean, it also helps you avoid the facial scan recognition technology. So win-win. Just wear a mask forever.
It's
Just ma
not like wear a
just
mask forever.
mask up, America.
It's not really wear a mask forever. Like, to be honest, I feel a lot more safer going out and eating, knowing that my waitress and the people in the back have masks on.
It was for sure. Like, but in 5 years, let's say I want to wear a mask in public. Why should that be illegal? That should be acceptable, right?
If you want
Like,
to wear a mask,
yeah, like not even like a year from now. I mean, like 4 to 5 years from now. Like that should be acceptable, right?
right? I don't think it's gonna be illegal.
But I mean, before this, in many situations, you could not enter a place while you're wearing a mask.
Oh, you're right. Yes, you are
So
100% right
that's
about
one of
that.
those things. Like, how does that settle out, and when do they try to make that transition back? And also, why? One might think for security purposes. I don't know why else.
Right. So as you can see on the graph here, the blue is no restrictions. The light orange is for unvaccinated people, and the dark orange is for everyone. So as you can see, we are in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So PA um, is for unvaccinated people that you have to wear a mask. And there's a lot of controversy. There's a lot of controversy about if people are going to be required to show their COVID, their vaccination form or whatever that slip, that card, to prove that they were vaccinated or not. So I want to hear y'all's opinion on this, Hygier and Justin. Like, how do you feel about the masks? Since both of you guys are vaccinated, like,
I
you
mean,
still wearing your mask or you not?
I think she's still getting set up, so I'll begin.
Oh, I
Uh,
am unmuted.
okay, sounds good. Yeah,
Oh,
that's the camera's working, so excellent. But no, I for one never found it a hindrance. I never found it annoying. It's warm sometimes if you wear it for a while, especially in the heat. It depends on the kind of mask too. You can wear a paper mask, and that's not warm. The ones I wear, they're cloth. I find them more comfortable, but when it's hot, like yeah, I think I may have to make a shift to, I don't know, the paper style mask soon. But I never found them a hindrance. Whereas I do believe people, not all the people, I know some people use it as a reason not to wear them, but I do believe there are some people for whom it does make it more difficult to breathe. I do see that, but I've not experienced that. It's no impediment to me. I never really minded, to be honest.
What about you, Hyger?
the only time it was hard for me when I tried to go back to exercising and went to the gym. I'm like, but I still wore it, and I think I'm going to wear it for a while. Not everyone is vaccinated. We are one of the worst countries in taking care of ourselves when it comes to following the guidelines and I don't think we are going to get to the herd immunity part, and that's being on the news. You know that we're one of the worst people that to follow policies and rules. So until they, like Trevor Noah said, they're putting vaccinated tattoo on the people vaccinated head. I'm not trusting anyone in central Pennsylvania. I'm still going to wear my mask. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna continue to
Dude.
wear my mask. You know, I grew up wearing a mask. Like that's just what we did. And like I said earlier, like I feel more comfortable
What?
ordering food or going to eat.
Why did you
And
grow up wearing a mask? I'm always going to ask those questions.
you're funny. We can talk about it after the show.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was the crux of TSO Live. I thought TSO originated out of Abilene, Texas, and
yeah.
this family of the mask we're in. So, I mean, you don't have to, but it's pretty interesting.
Anyways, I feel a lot more comfortable wearing my mask. I know in my place of work, it is now not required for you to have a mask. So having those people come in not wearing a mask, it sometimes it does make me feel a little uncomfortable just because, like Hajir said, you just don't know. You don't know what people do in their daily lives, and I feel like it's that extra protection of
Yeah.
having a mask, even if it's just protecting you from bad breath. Like that in itself is a
Yeah.
pandemic. I'm just
Or from your
Protect you
own,
for
enabled
everyone
to
is bad breath
know
except
that
your own.
you know that, oh, perhaps my breath isn't that good today, so I will, you know, take extra precautions.
yes, just saying, just saying. So I mean, there's a lot of things that are going to be changing. I'm really interested to see what's going to happen on this Memorial Day, and how the people of Pennsylvania are going to break out into the normal. I'm not ready for the normal. I'm gonna just throw this out there for the one time, okay? I'm not ready for the normal. I'm
I
not
just
ready to
don't.
go back.
Because we're not there yet. You're not wrong. We're not
I
there
just
I
don't
yet.
think
feel
it's
like
And this
it's
is,
not just
might
gonna
just be
happen.
the new normal.
the
Uh,
normal should not even be the world. New normal should not. We shouldn't even say normal now because everything, literally, COVID has changed everything. So we will never go back to how we were before.
and I
We
think
saw
there
the
are some
true
things we should
colors.
fight to bring back, and there are some things that we should be glad that we don't have anymore. Like the consciousness of everything was closed, so there weren't nearly as many mass shootings. Huh, everything opened up, and
Yeah.
now there are many more mass shootings. Use that
Yep.
as a critical moment to transform the society.
Right.
Use these things that we have learned, hopefully, to also the idea that it was the most help people working together on the community level.
Right.
Like, keep those organizations and those relationships that you built during the pandemic to help people
And they're
and
not.
to build that sense of community. I think it's community to community. I think some probably are. But yeah, I think a lot of people are just ready to go back to, driving their car, like one person to a car. I don't know. Like so much traffic now. Do you remember that week during the pandemic
There's
where there was
nobody.
no traffic?
Not one car.
That's the one thing I'm gonna miss. And
Yeah.
the quiet of that week. Oh,
I'm very interested to see how things are going to turn out. And these two pictures that we put up, you can get them on the New York Times website. It's always good to stay informed and educated on what's happening where you live, because a lot of things are going to be changing, and COVID is no joke. I'm gonna just say it like this: it has changed a lot of things that we will never go back to original America. It's not happening.
Or the world.
Or the world. Yeah, take that back because it wasn't just America. The whole entire world. We're not going to go back to that. And I want to believe that we will. Everybody's just going to go back to living their lives. Some people already have, like, COVID just don't even exist. I'm like, yo, where y'all been? Like, what is going on? But I'm fully convinced that this is what we're going to be. It's going to get real scary.
Well, I don't know. Like, say you've got the vaccine, and you know, okay, admittedly without some kind of vaccination card. And no, I think it was the Saturday Night Live skit where that's what you did to simplify you had the vaccine. I thought that was pretty funny. Anyway, but. Uh, No, like there is no way to prove it unless you go to, you need some sort of, you need to take your vaccine card everywhere. But
Hmm.
you can forge a vaccine card. There's going to be no proof without some sort of biometric, and I would prefer not. I'd rather not, to be
you,
honest.
you
That's a
what
lot.
you
I mean,
just
if it
said, it already
involves,
happened. Just
oh, I know.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, like
did you know
subdermal
that? Oh,
little subdermal
people
chips and
were
stuff.
buying people were buying cards. Did you know that, Maya?
I did not know that. It's not that serious, y'all. It's not that serious.
And instead of wasting your time and spending money and buying card to prove that you're vaccinated so you can cheat, you can actually go get vaccinated for free. So, anyways,
I just just
Oh,
wear the
and
mask. Like I
we
said.
that's why
are,
I'm going to wear
and
my
when and
mask.
we and we will discuss all the fun theories that people have about vaccinations on our vaccination episode, which will be coming in a few weeks, whenever
Yes,
we set it up.
and
Did
it's
you
And
gonna
really
there are,
be
there
get
are
one?
a lot of there are a lot of fun theories. That's all I'll say. Like
there's a
there,
lot, and but some of them. I mean, I'm just saying. Like, y'all know me. I am a big conspiracy theory person. I don't know why. Just
yeah,
me.
that's why this episode is going to be really good.
So I just, we'll save it for the show. But I can't believe people are buying cards. But I can't because this is just the world. This is the world we live in. I say
People
just wear your
spending
mask.
time forging cards
Just wear your
and
mask and
selling them.
do
I'll
what you've
print
been
you a
doing.
card.
Go to work. You gotta go to work. Go home. Make sure you're washing your hands. Making sure you're washing your body, brushing your teeth. Like, take care of yourself. Like, there's no need for you to go pay for to go get a card. Like, that is so funny to me. But we gonna save it for the show. So,
Yeah.
um, everybody, please stay educated on what's going on in your community. Make sure you are listening to what your mayors and what your government has and what's going on in the news because it's about to get real crazy. And
Well,
we're gonna
something
need
also to look at is it may look like your state is completely open, that you only require a mask if you're vaccinated, but that might not be the case in all
right,
places. You could be going to a city government building and that city requires masks, period. You'd be going
mm-hmm,
to a retailer and they require masks regardless.
right,
And you go somewhere else where maybe they're lax on that rule. You don't even know until you get there.
right.
So this isn't a time of just throwing your masks away. Like you
I
can
saw.
have that
I.
for 100
It's
years.
funny that you said that because I saw. I saw a TikTok video. I know y'all like mine. You're too grown for TikTok. Stop. Anyway, I saw a TikTok video and this lady was just throwing all her masks in the trash. Like, it's over. And I'm just like, guys.
Yeah. That's the world we live in, where you see people go to a store, like a dollar store, fighting with the cashier. Don't want to wear your freaking mask. If the business required, like Justin said, you to wear a mask, you're gonna have to wear it and follow that or
Mm-hmm.
take your business somewhere else.
Right.
Else you're going to be arguing with a store clerk, probably making under $15 an hour, who just wants to go home and not get spat down by someone who may have COVID.
I mean,
Yeah.
I totally agree. So make sure you guys keeping yourself educated and also, keep and tune into TSO Talk Show where we can drop these juicy details for you because, just in case you don't want to watch the news, we are here. Okay, we are here. So now that we have Hajir on here, we can find out on our second topic. Why'd you do that face, Justin?
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about it more, but I'm definitely down to talk about that. I just have
Oh,
more
what
stuff.
else do you want to say, Justin? We're going to
Oh,
spoil the show.
oh no. I just meant more like what I was thinking of the psychological transition from pandemic
Oh yeah, you're right.
to now. Like, how do you? I don't know. I think it's different for everyone. I think for a lot of people, whatever uh, mental I want to say this correct way, mental illnesses or whatever psychological predispositions they may have had came to bear
Mhm.
during this because of the time of stress, because of the pressure. And I don't know if they just go away now. I don't necessarily think so. I think this could be
Unfortunately,
something that they,
unfortunately, I
yeah.
don't think that it's just gonna go away. And I feel like America reopening is gonna make it even worse because the stresses that they had before of being in the house, possibly getting COVID, all this is now going, and now I have to go back out into the world, and not everybody feels the way that I feel. So I don't think that it's gonna go away. There's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna be hurting, and that's why I said the we will never go back to normal. There is no normal
PTSDs
anymore.
and yeah, this is the new normal. So embrace that. Get with it. This is the reality. If you want to live, if you don't want to be endangering yourself and others. But I, I lost the trend of my thoughts. But it's not just about that, Maya. I know we're gonna talk about this in a whole show, but this month May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and
Mm-hmm.
we just all have to pay attention to our health. We know we are all stressed, and this is kind of a nightmare. Some people have PTSDs from going through COVID or surviving or having lost someone to COVID that they couldn't even see or say goodbyes. Some people did
Right.
not bury their family member, um, and especially at the beginning of the pandemic. So we really need to take this serious and take our time. That's all.
Well, the people are not taking their time right here. Everybody's in a rush to get back outside. For what? The heat? I don't
I have no
understand.
idea.
The mosquitoes? I don't get it either.
I'm
But
enjoying
I
this lockdown, I tell you.
like I definitely agree with you, and that's why we want to continue these shows. Not just that's why we're starting with this show of the reopening of America and getting back to what you at that time what you thought was normal. I'm gonna put it like that. Um, this is going to be a series of shows, but we got to make sure that everybody's educated on it, so that like your responsibility after watching this show is for you to go on your local news page and see what's going on with COVID. Every news page has like a COVID section now, so there's tons of information on there where you can go and read and see how many people are vaccinated. Also, read about the vaccinations. You don't get some information on it first. That's my recommendation that I can give to you. Um, but the other part of our show, which was where is Sudan at now in 2021? I'm sorry, Justin.
Yeah, sorry, not to surprise you with that, but I was just interested. I see some of your shows, and I don't really but they're being in Arabic. I see,
Yeah,
you speaking of it, but and then then I hear you say things sporadically sometimes. I'm just really was really curious. Like,
yeah,
as I don't know, what would you even consider progress in that way?
I don't. You guys were like one of the biggest cheerleader to the Sudanese revolution. TSO has been an amazing, a news outlet, and you covered and followed this beautiful revolution that taught the whole world, you can actually peacefully take down a dictator. But unfortunately, you know, they in the last minute, the people that the street and the people of Sudan trusted, they cave in and allow part of the militia, which you all are aware that Hamiti, he is the Janjaweed leader. He became the second person. So we just changed names, same dictators. The civilian government were so weak, they allowed military government to partner with them because they told them they cannot allow a civil uh, government. It has to be a joint. They could have stayed on the street, they could have fought some more, but they caved in and they wanted to end this whole like killing and all of that. And the unfortunate part, and like how they ended the sittings, if you remember that, basically a massacre. They killed so many
Yeah.
young people. They burned their beautiful, like small cities, and you know how they had their tents, and they were chipping in money and food, and they were just basically managing the whole area. They burned it down. It was burned, and we don't. It's not like something not known for us. Just then, we have
Right.
videos of the Janjaweed militia burning the sittings area, killing people. You know that they put rocks and heavy rocks on some of the revolutionists' feet, tied them up, and threw them in the Nile River, like to die like that, drown them to death. I mean, it is graphic. There were over, I don't know how many they were considered missing back then, and it's 2 years now. We didn't find them. I'm not sure if you followed the last story I was covering, where citizens in like a small area, like say like in Harrisburg, there is a where they keep the dead bodies. More not it's like a more,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
start smelling. There were like a massive electric outage in that area, so the people start smelling funny smells, and they went to that, like it's like a small hospital where they keep the bodies of normally death until they do the autopsy and everything. And people would start to
Yeah.
look inside. They were hundreds and hundreds of bodies just piled up. And because the electricity went out from that area, they start to, what you call it, Justin? I mean, it's graphic, but I'm gonna have to tell you.
But
So they start
yeah,
decompose, and
yeah,
the blood start to leak, like actually leak outside of the, supposed to be the fridge where they keep the bodies. They had hundreds of unknown victims there. So the young people in the area, they're this is maybe what, their third week from the 29th of the month of last month. They're still sitting outside. They are protesting. They wanted those bodies to be identified, DNAs to be checked, so they can have a proper barrier.
yeah.
Um,
Of course.
they and while they were doing that, guess what happened? The militia came and shot two young people. One of them is my friend's nephew, who she lived here in Virginia. He's 19 years old. He's in third year, and like he's smart, handsome young man who's in third year in medical school. They just shot him. That, and they shot the second one who's not even 19 yet. So we lost two bodies um, during the protest of finding the killers of the sittings guilty and bring them to justice. People were actually asking for justice, and they shot dead. So I don't know if I
That's
can
a
call it
pretty
progress.
clear answer. Like that's a pretty
Yeah,
clear answer to an ask for justice.
yeah. Few good people that were in the civilian government part, they put their resignation because they felt, this is 2 years, they're not getting anywhere. The militia are still controlling. You know that I did a show last Friday with a lawyer and doctors and couple activists. They gang rape a young lady in Darfur, in Nile, Blue Nile area. They gang raped one lady, and then the second one, she's only 13 years old, was raped by some, were dressed in the militia, like the Janjaweed clothes. So they're still doing this in Khartoum and outside of Khartoum. Um, there is
Wow.
no safety. The previous government, some of them are still in jail, but they were not brought to justice. They were supposed to be taken to the ICC, the International Criminal Court. Nothing happened. So the whole world, it's not just the Sudanese. Many people have interest in Sudan, as you all know. UAE, Egypt, Saudi, uh, France. many places that they have interest, and they wanted to keep the Janjaweed leader in power because he's the one that stealing for them, stopping the massive refugees. You know, he shoots the refugees in the desert. They kill them before they make it to Europe. So they want someone like that. And for those of you who don't know what Janjaweed is, like the devil in the back horse, that's the actual name. And they were notorious. They're known for their criminal activities, their raping
Oh,
women, their burning
for
villages.
many years, yeah. Like
Decades.
the few things. Well, I was young at the time, but I remember, you know, the massacre in Darfur, and that's one of the few things that really,
The Darfur
that
genocide,
caught my memory.
yeah,
Yeah, the Janjaweed
yeah,
militia and just that brutality and
yeah,
just
Wow.
so. And I think we, at the time, we talked about people who were disappearing, and maybe in the back of my mind, I was always hopeful that they're alive somewhere, or they're just being held in the camp, or not that
yeah,
that's good, but something. But there's the answer. That's where
that's
they
true.
were, and in other places like it too. And it's so hard to fault someone who's been in the midst of a revolutionary movement for months and years
Yeah,
for stopping right before what looks like the finish line, especially seeing
yeah,
how much brutality and violence you had already faced.
Right.
But let's look at also how much violence and brutality they're facing after they did it anyway. It's not like it stopped. That's still the case. That's still present.
no,
And that had also been present in times of peace as well. So it's not as though agreeing to those
yeah.
terms suddenly stopped all the violence. It did not.
Yeah. It's
No.
so sad because,
And you
just
said
like
it
you.
well, Justin, like they stopped before the finish line. They were right
Like,
there. They can see.
right, yeah.
They could have waited, like if they push harder for a day or two and refuse this relationship, they refuse to allow the militia and the military to become part of the government. I think we would have been in a different position right now.
Yeah, no, for
So
sure. And it would just, and I know it's hollow advice when to not be there in the midst of these movements. I'm speaking more of movements who are in the midst, who are in the early stages. When you get to that point, you just stick with it. And I know that's empty words to hear from so far away, but if people can remember it and remember similar situations where, you know, and I hate to use the word surrender because it was quite a struggle. It was a heck of a struggle.
it was a
But
battle.
stopping, let's just say stopping at the end,
Yeah.
it just is one of those to keep in mind.
The Sudanese revolution was unlike anything that I have ever experienced or got the honor to speak on or even to be a part. Even though we were here in the United States, like we weren't there, I still felt like we were 100% a part of that revolution,
Yeah,
and that makes me really sad to hear um, about the hundreds of people that they found,
yeah,
and it just brings back everything that we talked about when you know just like Justin said, people going missing and how some of them were murdered, and it's just really sad, and it makes me even more angry just because like here in the United States we
yeah,
get upset over things like we have to wear a mask, and these people
yeah.
over here fighting for their lives, okay, just to have peace, some kind
And
of
basic
peace.
rights. Yeah,
We're gonna make sure we need to do a whole show on this. And I haven't, life has been
yeah,
like crazy, like everything reopening and stuff and work, that I haven't even taken the time to really watch the news and hear on what's happening. But I need to get back because to hear that this is where we're at in Sudan in
Oh,
2021, almost going into 2022, that
yeah,
that that's a big problem.
Oh
And
my, also the
nobody's
big
really
problem
talking
is
about it.
you can't just tune in, or we can't just tune in and learn about it. That
Right.
was, and I don't mean to, laud ourselves, but I felt very useful at that time
Absolutely.
in
Yeah.
conveying the situation on the ground to people here because they didn't hear it in other places.
Right.
And
You
I
are
know, like
absolutely
we're just this little operation, but people heard it, and this wasn't something they heard elsewhere, and that's really important too.
So
And
are they protesting now, Hyger, like again,
yeah.
or like
Yeah, my
what's
sister,
happening
the
on
one
the
in
ground?
Philly, she's there now. She's been
Okay.
there since the my mom has passed away, and she stayed there. So she's in the sitting since she's on the front line. Actually, they left the area, the protest area, to go home and eat. One of my brother had surgery, and that when the shooting started, they just missed it by like maybe what 10-15 minutes. They just went
Wow.
to come back and they missed it. But you guys were a huge part, and even the people of Sudan, like they acknowledge your part and what you did to educate. Like TSO was like right there. Basically, I know we're far away, but you guys were covering everything, educating people about issues that, like you said, they don't hear about it anywhere else. You know, you don't hear about it unless you actually know someone from that area. And
no, and we were
yeah,
fortunate enough to know you, and also fortunate enough that you still deeply cared about it.
Right.
So you brought that to
Absolutely.
us, and hopefully we ran together with it as much as we could at the
Right.
time. But look, oh, that is it's really unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear it.
It really is.
yeah.
But
Um.
But
you
you know
say
what?
there,
Positive note, Justin and Maya, that the young revolutionists are not taking any crap. Like from the beginning, they were against this relationship between the militia and the chosen people. And when those people start to act like they weren't doing their job, they were out there telling them they need to resign, telling them that they're not doing what they're supposed to do, pushing them pressure. And now you'll be happy to know, I mean not happy but glad to know that they're out there protesting again and telling them that good best when they were saying it
mm,
before.
yeah,
They will fall again, fall, that's all. And that's what they're gonna do.
I still play
yeah.
that song in my car.
I
I don't know how to
know,
say it. I'm
me
probably gonna say it
too.
wrong. But
I
um
don't. I'll be honest, but I remember
the
it.
Ladi Doctaria. You don't remember that song, Justin?
Oh, I
That's
remember it. I just don't play it in my car. I
oh
use
yeah.
Spotify. I use Spotify. Sorry.
I actually really like it, and I still say bus good bus. We got this
Yep, that's
team.
good best.
Yep, we got this. Even if we're way here in America, we're gonna be the ones to help you get the information that you need. And I really think that we need to like make that into like a complete part of TSO where we talk about it and bring awareness to it. Because people here in Pennsylvania or Texas and Colorado, Tennessee, like those places, people aren't paying attention to what's happening overseas because it's
Yeah,
not right in front of their face. And let's just be real with
yeah.
each other. You turn on the news, it's about COVID or the latest puppy
Mm-hmm.
that was adopted. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's nothing that talking about what's happening in these other countries, and we got to be the
Yeah,
ones to bring awareness to it. And it was, like I said earlier, it was a true pleasure for us to do that. Just and it really like informed us because I did not know. I'm not gonna speak for Justin, but I
yeah,
did not know about anything about Sudan as far as the battles that they've had for years,
So yeah,
decades of
yeah.
pain and hardship and
yeah,
battles. Like
So
you
what
don't
I
hear
would
about
say,
this
like,
stuff.
I knew the basic history. Like, you say, oh, this is when Sudan became Sudan and South Sudan, and this is when this movement happened, and this and that, and that's
mm-hmm.
fine. That's nice to know, but that's just words on a page.
Right.
That's not an actual like, understanding of the
Right.
context of the history. And by speaking with people and actually getting an understanding of the context and the culture, it's a world of difference. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna keep informed. We're gonna keep educating about what's happening in and around our community and what's happening in Sudan. And Hyger, you know, you are more than loved. There's not even a word that I can describe that's more than loved. So, you know, what's important to you is
They,
100% important to myself, Justin, and Aria, Azalea. You know, the whole family. The whole family loves you.
I bet they have a cool one in Arabic, do they?
Huh?
I bet Rumi
بحبكم.
said something about. Yeah. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
What?
I
Say,
miss it.
I love you. بحبكم.
What?
بحبكم.
Vahid Vahidbakum.
Ba-
Bahebako.
yeah, exactly. I love you.
Vahidbakum.
Bahebako. Yo, I can speak Arabic.
There you go.
I am secretly Arabic.
See?
I'm just throwing this out there, y'all.
Yes.
I got it in
You
me.
got
I'm gonna
it.
learn. I'm gonna learn. And I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put some information in a video about the Sudanese Revolution for anybody of our new watchers who maybe weren't watching us back then we were talking about it. I'm gonna put a video together and I'm gonna play it through our live StreamYard that we have going on here, just so that you can
Yeah.
see the journey that Sudan has had, and especially that revolution. Because us just talking about it now, if you don't know what happened, you have to see the pictures. You have to see the videos, and you might not understand what they're saying. Well, you won't unless you speak Arabic. You won't understand
You'll
what they're
feel it.
saying, but you will feel it. You will feel it, and it's gonna hit you 10 times more than if you could understand them. I guarantee you. And I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna work on it tonight because I still have all of the pictures from the Sudanese revolution that we
Yeah.
had,
Well, you
and
got
I
to be
think
a
it's time.
not a wonderful, but like a powerful slideshow for
Oh,
sure.
oh,
Yeah.
I got all the pictures. Some of the pictures that Hyger sent me, we didn't even show on the show, and I'm gonna put them
Yeah.
in there because we have to bring awareness. And not everything is gonna be glitter and gold and nice and puppies and hearts. No, you have to see that these
Mhm.
people are really fighting for peace, and you're fighting because you got to wear a
Reality.
mask at Dollar General. I'm done.
Yeah. I know. Mic
I'm,
drop. What
I'm
you just said is done.
drop my bottle. That was as close
Water
as it's
drop.
gonna get.
I was gonna say that's a different thing.
So we love you
Yeah.
guys. We're sorry that we came on a little late. But we're gonna continue this show. Look forward to the video that we're gonna post. I'm gonna try to get it out tonight. If I don't, I'm gonna try to get it out tomorrow. We love you guys. Thank you, Justin and Hyger, for coming on and being the biggest part of TSO. You know, the show would be nothing without you guys. And Aria, we miss you. I'm sorry I sent that message to Azalea instead of
We
you. I take
do.
responsibility. Take responsibility. Y'all know I'm slow. So I love you guys. Big hearts. Don't forget to like, share, and comment, and send all your friends. Because if you don't, I already did. Do it again. Because when I slide in your friends' DMs, they're like, "Who is this girl? Who is she? Who is she?" So we will see you guys next Monday. And to all of our Sudanese friends who watch us abroad, I'm gonna say it, das good bus and
That's good best. Yes.
that's good bus.
That's
And
good best.
how do you say love? What did you say?
بحبكم.
Bahit.
I love you. بحبكم. Mhm.
Yes. We love you.
Bahidbakum.
There you go.
We love you
We
guys.
have to
That's
do
good
reviews
bus.
with feels good best.
Yes. And we're gonna
That,
keep everybody informed and educated. So we'll see you guys next Monday, bright and early, 6 o'clock. Bye.